Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us once again here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, Sunday night, we've got the RFC Next Gen Racing K&N Series here on Turn 3. As always, I am David Worrell up in the booth, and tonight we've got the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital sponsoring and presenting this 120 lap race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And this race has been sponsored by one of the series drivers, Thomas Light, picking up the bill for this race, helping head up and sponsor this race, the St. Jude's 184. And we've had a chance to catch up with Thomas himself here. Thomas, how you doing, bud?
Good, Dave. How about you?
I cannot complain, and if I did, it probably wouldn't matter.
You're probably right.
Well, but just wanted to talk to you a little bit before we get set to go qualifying here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. You chose to sponsor this race in partnership with St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Just want to ask you a little bit about that. What was the thought process or meaning behind this particular sponsorship deal?
Well, when I was a young man, I had a wife that passed away with cancer at 26 years of age, and we had two small children. And you know, as bad as that situation was, I can't imagine what it's like to have a child get cancer and have to go through the treatments and everything that's involved in that. And so St. Jude has always been near and dear to my heart because of what they do for these children, and not just the children but the families. They you know, make sure that the families can come and be with their children, and that you know, the child's going to get the absolute best of care with nothing due by the parents, no bills or anything like that. And you just can't beat an organization like that. I mean, it's just I don't know if you've ever seen the commercials that they do periodically, but these children are amazing, the way that they go through the treatments. And St. Jude's just is a place that fosters that kind of atmosphere for them to get treatment but know that they're loved and cared for.
Well, that is an absolute great reason and a great foundation and organization to be behind, Thomas. So hats off to you, and condolences for everything. Didn't know anything about that. Known you for a while now, so that is a new one on me, Thomas. But you know, my sympathy's there. However, what are your thoughts? What do you think you can get done out there for this foundation on track tonight? Where do you see yourself shaking out? How's the car feel out there?
Well, the car feels wonderful. The biggest concern that I've got is there's a tremendous amount of wrecks happening out there in practice, and I think the name of the game, first of all, is going to be survival. So you got to be there at the end to get on the board, and so that's, I think, the most important thing. The setup for this car is really good here. It's fast, and I just hope we have a successful night. Hadn't had a lot of luck in the last two races, getting caught up in accidents, but maybe we can turn that around tonight.
Well, I hope you do. Hope you bring it home, not just for yourself, but for the inaugural. I can't say that word. Maybe you can say it for me.
Inaugural.
See, there you go. There's a reason why I like you, Thomas. See, you can talk and I can't. But getting the first win in this newly created K&N Series partnership between Racing for a Cause and Next Gen Racing Leagues, both on iRacing.com, obviously. But how do you feel about that merger of these two great leagues coming together to create this K&N Series?
That's been fantastic. Nothing but positive things to say about the organization. You know, they had a bunch of great guys in both leagues, and you put them together, it just makes for more competitive racing, and the management from the league aspect is just phenomenal. Just really pleased with the way everything come together so quickly.
Well, Thomas, with just a little bit under 3 minutes left here, I know your crew chief is probably screaming in our producer's ears to get you back down to your car, so we're going to let you head on out. But before we do let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Yeah, just Hammer Down Motorsports. Appreciate my teammates, and to my family, I love each one of you.
All right, bud, good luck. Elbows up.
Thank you.
There you have it. That was Thomas Light joining us for a brief moment, giving us a little bit of a backstory into why he had chosen to name this race the St. Jude's 184 and sponsor it by St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. And I must agree with Thomas. It is a great cause, great organization to help fund. And as I've always said, with helping out, it doesn't matter if it's $1 million, 1,000, or a penny. Every little bit counts. Every little bit helps affect and change in a positive way many people's lives. So go on over to www.stjudes.org and see what you can do, see what you can help out with. Well, we are down to just about 1 minute left here in happy hour, so the drivers that are on track now are going to be trying to shake down the cars and see what they can really squeeze out of it before they have to go down, put on those freshies, and get some qualifying times laid down. With all that being said, we're going to step away for just a brief moment. We will be right back with all your qualifying action. You won't miss a thing here on Turn 3 Racing Network.
Oh, hi. What's your name? Hi, Marcia. I almost erased you. I was going to draw a car. You do? But you're a... Well, I don't know. A racing driver? Well, we can make that happen.
And as promised, we are back. Happy hour is over. Qualifying just now beginning. 10 minutes for, oh my goodness gracious. That is very interesting why that happened. Not sure how that did happen, but we will look into that here in just a brief moment. Sorry, technical aspects with brand new hardware. So we will just keep rolling through it. The 82 of Tyler Hilton, he has hit the track. There you see him getting very loose on exit. Just coming up to speed now. Oh, and up into the wall, climbing over the wall is that 82 of Tyler Hilton. He's going to shut her down. We'll go look at Cody Terry just kind of hanging out there on pit road. The 45 of Douglas Wasaki is out there on his laps right now. I believe this is his warm-up lap, so we're still going to wait to see where he ends up shaking out here during qualifying. Right now, Douglas sitting in the second position. Man on the pole right now happens to be the 84 of Chris Medford. As Douglas hugging that white line through 3 and 4. He's going to come around to the stripe. Can he improve his position? Fell back to 5th. Crossing the line there. See where he ends up shaking out. All the way back up to 2nd. We'll ride on board now with the 49 of Troy Radford as he's on his up-to-speed laps. Also, Eric Blunt in the 6th. Out on track, and Troy with a moment. He is not going to be able to put down that lap, so we'll go ahead and switch on over here to Eric Blount and see how he ends up shaking out. First time lap in the books for him, shakes out 9th, now back to the 10th spot. Troy Radford starting his time laps once again. Cody Terry on track, Tyler Hilton, Brian Muskell Jr. hanging out on pit road. Michael Massengill also out there in the number 3. Coming across the stripe that time by. Where will Eric shake out? Looks like he's going to only improve to about 11th. So not the run he was looking for. And we're going to jump on board now with the 67 of Chris Berg as he makes his second timed lap, shaking out right now in the 12th position. He's going to have to gain a pretty good amount. 7/10 behind your pole sitter right now as we are working just over 6.5 minutes left here in qualifying for the St. Jude's 184, brought to you by RFC Next Gen K&N Series here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And Chris Berg, big jump all the way up to the 3rd position. Brandon Hartwell in the 4 has been able to go up, steal that top spot. Trying to see if we have any other drivers out there running on track. Looks like most of the drivers are slowing down. And here he is, the man himself, Ricky All-Star Harden. He was able to go up in that number 2 machine and take away the 5th position. And want to give a shout out this man right here, Roger Muth in the 39. Muth in the booth. Check him out. Turn 3 Racing Network. That's right. We come out of the booth and race. Well, we just get the job done. That's all we know how to do. Roger going out, making another time lap. Not sure he's going to be able to improve on that 11th starting position as of right now. Looks like Justin Rivard, is up in the 8th spot with his second time lap. Chuck Mobley just hanging out on pit road as of now. And my goodness, things are happening quick. Things are changing. Troy Radford in the 49, while we were watching the other drivers go around the track, he snuck up there, stole that pole position away. So Troy Radford in the 49 sitting on top of the provisional pole right now. Looks like Vic Wagner in the 13 machine is making his outlap. Actually, no, he's going to reset his car, come back down and try it again. And I'm not quite sure if that's what's supposed to be on the car or not, Vic. So get up with me later. Let's try to work that thing on out. Anyways, just over 4 minutes left. Most of the field has qualified. Very large field here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. 41 drivers have shown up to this track. And I believe I think it's 22 to 23 cars have put down a lap. So well over half of the field has put down a timed lap here in this qualifying session. And things are going to be very, very busy, especially with this newer tire model. The driver's going to have to be very aware and careful of the tire fall off and the way the cars come up to temperature, especially on restarts should you have a heat cycle on your tires. Victor Wagner coming across the line, 21st position. A lot of time to make up, almost 0.8 of a second. Also out on track right now, the 77 of Lance Yancey. He is still putting down his first timed lap, hasn't crossed the line just quite yet, so we'll keep our eye back on him. John Jenkins and his 7 machine has not came out on track. The 00 of Roy Hyde, Adam Novak, Travis Smith, Brian Mescal Jr., all drivers that have not came out on track just yet. Vic Wagner only able to come up and take the 11th position away. Lance Yancey has a lot of ground that he needs to make up here on this second lap if he's going to want to get anything done with that race leader there. You see him slotted in the 19th position with his first time lap, crossing the line this time. Where will he end up shaking out? All the way up to 8th, but just not enough to get the job done. And sitting on pit road, the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr., Adam Novak also sitting on pit road right now. Jeffrey Vandervoort, Kendall Levron, Craig Learman, Alan Westman, Corey Walters, Gordon Larson Jr., all drivers still not putting down a timed lap. Do not believe they will be putting in any timed laps here. So with all of that being done and said, I believe qualifying has pretty much came to an end. So we are going to step down and away to the track for some pre-race festivities. We will be back here momentarily on Turn 3 Racing Network for your starting lineup for the St. Jude's 184.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming
welcome back, and thanks for sticking with us here on Turn 3 Racing Network. We are about to go green flag racing. Here is your starting grid for tonight's St. Jude's 184. Pole position, the 49 of Troy Radford, followed by the 5 of Brandon Hartwell. Row number 2, the 51 of Dylan Blankenship, followed by the 67 of Chris Berg. Row number 3, the 88 of Kenneth Osborne, and the 2 of Ricky Harden. Row number 4, the 84 of Chris Medford, followed by the 77 of Lance Yancey. Row number 5, the 48 of Justin Rivard, followed by the 45 of Douglas Wasaki, Dustin German, and Victor Wagner. Coming row 6, row number 7, Roger Muth and Travis Arthur. Row number 8, the 22 of Cody Terry, followed by the 72 of Andrews Lambert. Row number 9, the 37 of Cole Day, followed by the 31 of Donald Bennett. And folks, a little bit of time being off, we are not going to get to the rest of our starting grid. Do apologize for that, but things are about to start going green flag racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We will get set to watch this field get this thing underway. Troy Radford nails the gas, and we are green flag racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. 5 of Brandon Hartwell right there on the outside lane. Not sure which lane is the preferred one. Look at the amount of cars out there on track. Absolutely amazing, the amount of drivers out here right now. And there are going to be battles all over this track all night long. There you see just off in the distance these drivers just behind your race leaders have to sort things out. Troy Radford now getting the field to kind of go single file just a little bit up here at the front. Troy Radford, Brandon Hartwell, Dylan Blankenship trying to walk away from the field here early for the St. Jude's 184 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Beginning lap number 3, Troy Radford, your pole sitter, still leading this race. Second place still going to Brandon Hartwell. Field starting to sort itself out just a little bit. Looks like the 88 of Kenneth Osborne struggling a little bit up on that high side. He's got a rear view mirror full of the 67 of Chris Berg lurking just behind them. Then it is another pack of K&N cars going through the trioval. Roger Muth, 3 wide, 1 into the wall just a little bit. I believe that may have been Ricky Harden as he is sliding through the field now. Going back just a little bit of a scrape for him, sent him back through the field. And do want to apologize for not getting to the entire starting grid, as there was just a little bit more drivers than I was used to, and timing was just a little bit off there. You see some smoke and sparks flying in the background, watching Dustin German battle it out with the 45 of Douglas Wasaki. Just behind them, Roger Muth has his hands full with the 77 of Lance Yancey. Right there on track, Cody Terry also right with these drivers. There's the 13 of Vic Wagner. He is still trying to make his way up through the field. Troy Radford, your race leader, still has about a 0.3 of a second race lead as we are working lap 6 coming to... and caution is going to come out on track. That, yeah, I see why. Okay, that's... okay, I got it now. Under caution here tonight for the first time. Yeah, I see exactly why that happens now, so yay. Gonna have to try to back up here and find this bear with me. Do apologize. Looks like trying to see if we can locate this thing, and I'm not seeing it anywhere on the screen when it's happening, so we're just gonna chalk that up and move on about our business. Caution for the first time here tonight, your race leader Troy Radford leading the field down pit lane, and yeah, that's gonna be a little issue that I get annoyed with right there, so we are gonna have to deal with that. Yeah. In his box now is your race leader, Troy Radford. Looks like everybody has elected to come down pit road. Vic Wagner through pit road. He missed his box, so he is not gonna like his tires should he stay out and race off of pit road. Troy Radford wins that one, as I believe the 13 of Vic Wagner will be heading to pit road next time by. And yep, that's why that is supposed to be that way, and now I understand. Alright. Nonetheless, here we go. Caution. First time of the race. Troy Radford leading the race here. And we're going to see if we can't get a word in with our pole sitter race leader, as Vic Wagner has decided to go down pit road. We'll just make sure that we are not on our one to go here just yet before we tap in to get a word with not only your race leader, but the pole sitter. Troy, this is Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
I do, Dave. How you doing, bud?
Doing good. My mouth is already tired. Ton of cars out there on track right now. Ton of action. How were you and your crew able to get the job done in qualifying and bring that over to the race?
I was just kind of all luck. I really didn't run a whole lot of short run stuff. So for qualifying, just, hit it right. It was good. For the race here, really look forward to seeing how everybody does out here. I know we had a little bit of an incident there. I think it was caused by a blinking car from what I'm hearing. But, main thing, while I got the mic here, I just got to give a shout out to everybody that's here. I mean, absolutely huge amounts of people here. And we have such good talent in this league that, it's really great to see everybody come out here and support.
All right, man. Well, I know your crew chief's going to be yelling at you in the ear, so before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, anything like that to anybody?
First a big shout-out over to Thomas Light sponsoring the race today with the St. Jude's name on there. Just cannot thank him enough for stepping up and doing that. As well as personal sponsor here, Evidence-Based Mommy is always on board the car here. If you're a parent looking for a little bit of help, check out the blog over at evidencebasedmommy.com, and there is a hyphen in it.
Remember the hyphen.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, good luck. Elbows up. Hopefully we can talk to you a little bit later in the race.
Yep, thank you much, Dave.
There you have it. That was your race leader, the 49 of Troy Radford. Also, as stated, was your pole sitter for today's race. The first race in the RFC Next Gen K&N Series, brought to you by or on Turn 3 Racing Network. Today's race sponsored by Thomas Light and the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. We are set to go green flag racing yet again. Troy Radford bringing the field around turn 3 and 4. Pace car lights are off. It will be ducking off of the racing surface. We will get set to go back green flag racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And we're back to green. Troy Radford nails the restart, gets a great jump over the 51 of Dylan Blankenship and Brandon Hartwell, those two now battling for second on track. Chris Medford in the 84 digging on the inside, trying to make the pass. Brandon Hartwell is stuck out there on the outside. Now, Kenneth Osmond trying to make his presence felt up inside the top 5, rounding out that top 5. But, up in the wall is Brandon Hartwell. Hard contact for him. He's dropping through the field now. Not something he's going to want to see later, as there are no fast repairs here in the K&N series, and there's cars everywhere. One up into the wall now, right in front of the field. We stay under green, I believe, trying to see who that was. Man, that was some hard contact with that outside wall. I believe that may have been the 14 of Corey Walters. No, that was the 86 of Travis Arthur, I believe. Yes, it was hard contact for him. But back up at the front, your race leader, Troy Radford, has stepped away from Dylan Blankenship. Almost a half a second separate them. Then you got to go 0.3 of a second back to find your third place runner, the 84 of Chris Medford. Now coming up through the field, here's a 3-pack of cars looking 3 wide for a second. The 48, the 39, the 45, all right there with each other. And Lance Yancey is liking what he sees. He is trying to track these boys down just behind them, racing high into the turn. And that 48 of Justin Rivert is hanging it sideways down there on the inside line. Outside is the 39 of Roger Muth. Back across the line, still battling for that 6th and 7th position on track. This is one of your closest battles. Keeping our eye also on the 3rd position, the 84 of Chris Medford and Kenneth Osmond. They are still fighting it out for that position, still looking back through the field as well. Around 18th or 19th, there is a lot of cars all over each other back there. We will take a moment, walk through the field here if we can. Go back here, show you a little bit of the racing action going on behind this gaggle of cars that is from 7th to about 12th position here. There you see them all stringed up, all lined up. They're going to start to try to step away from the field. Tire management and well-being is going to play a factor here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. From St. Jude's 184 here on Turn 3 Racing Network. In back about 16th, 17th, you'll be able to find Craig Learman, John Jenkins, Thomas Light, Roy Hyde, all right here as well back through the field. As you can tell, there are just a ton of cars out there on track. A lot of cars out there still on track. A lot of cars still on the lead lap. Few drivers have had some incidents and are being shown off track and behind the wall. Looks like the 33 of Brian Muscale Jr. has had to call it a night, as well as that 42 of Rick Reinert. Both of those drivers, I believe, have packed it up and went to the house. If not, they are got some extensive damage to fix up at the front. Troy Radford not changing a thing, still has about a half a second lead over the 51 of Dylan Blankenship. We're going to show you this battle beginning to brew right here. Lance Yancey on that bumper of the 45 going down into turn 3 and 4. They still have Roger Muth in tow with them. These drivers doing a heck of a job now. Lance Yancey gets rooted up to the top just a little bit. What's going to happen here as they enter turn 3? Lance Yancey way up the track, up there in the marbles. That's going to let Muth come in on the bottom. He's going to pull side by side. No room just yet. Oh, close. Slotting in there right behind that 77 and in between the 28 of Dustin German. So Muth putting the car in tight spaces And this field is still full throttle, I can guarantee it. But this man right here is absolutely putting on a clinic right now. There you see cars sideways off of turn number 2. A lot of your cars, including your race leader, sideways, dirt tracking it into turns 3 and 4 as well. So grip is a premium out there tonight. Only working lap 22 out of the 120 here scheduled for tonight's regulation. There will be green, white, checkered attempts should we need them. 99 laps left here to go tonight for the RFC Next Gen K&N Series drivers. And it's a grueling long race, 120 laps here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. I'd rather race almost anywhere than here. Atlanta is a very, very aggressive track, and I am not very good at saving tires, so it doesn't work well for me. Back here in the back, do have a pass going on. Looks like that may be the 43 of Craig Learman and the 7 of John Jenkins. John out there rocking a pretty bad paint scheme, buddy. That is pretty nice, pretty slick for him. Shout out to John Jenkins and all the work he puts in over there in the iRacing A-Open Official Series. Great job all the time by that man right there. Gonna keep looking through the field. Looks like the all-star himself, Ricky Harden, finds himself in a gaggle of cars. I mean, just look at them. These drivers all over each other. And this is back for around the 20th position or so. So, I mean, it's just absolutely phenomenal that there's this many cars here. And, whoa, big moment again. The 5 of Brandon Hartwell. He's going to slide to a stop. He's faced the wrong way. He's going to be stuck on the wall. Tough break for this man right here, not wanting to bring out a caution. He's going to go ahead and tow it back. My goodness, that could have been disaster for a lot of drivers. Now we are watching the 01 of Gordon Larson smoke through the air there, where Brandon Hartwell was sliding around. Unfortunately, Brandon having a tow, that's going to put him way behind the 8 ball now. Looks like there are a few other drivers that have been on pit road for an extended stay. We'll do some race cleanup here as we get further into this thing. Still under green, lap 27 out of 120. Oh no, the 76 with some trouble. And it looks like Chuck Mobley also with some trouble. Oh my, oh my. Nothing really going on with your race leader. There you see him. The 49 of Troy Radford has checked out just a little bit over your second place runner. The 67 of Chris Berg. The 84 of Chris Medford. Man on the screen trying to make the pass on the 88 of Kenneth Dale Osmond. The 48 of Justin Rivard is right there as well. Lance Yancey was able to get by a few drivers. He slots himself in 6th. Dustin German in 7th. The 8th spot goes to the 39 of Roger Muth. 9th, Andreas Lambert. And in 10th, the 6th machine of Eric Blount. Oh my God, stretching is so wonderful. Whew. Maybe next time I'll have to mute the mic for that one too. Woo, yeah. Amazing the things that you will hear. Anyways, battle on track right here, raging on. That is for the 4th and 5th spot. Medford has it. River wants it. been a while since we have seen this man right here on track. Justin making a great re-emergence onto the scene here, running well up inside the top 5 right now, rounding out that top 5. Looking back through the field, looks like Travis Smith has been able to work his way up into the 11th position. He still has a lot of cars right behind him. He has got a lot of cars still in front of him that he is going to have to try to get on by. Still green flag racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, working lap 33 out of 120. On screen, you have the 72 of Andreas Lambert, the 9 of Travis Smith, the 6 of Eric Blunt, and the 7 of John Jenkins. They are all trying to work their way up through the field and into the top 10. Eric Blunt, last car running on in the 10th spot. Last car running in the top 10 is what I was trying to say before I messed that one all up. A lot of racing action out there on track. It looks like the back of the field, or the mid-pack I should say, starting to sort itself out, build some gaps between them. Here you see Tyler Hilton just in front of the 00 of Roy Hyde. Craig Learman in the 43 just behind Hyde. Then you go back and you can find the 45 of Douglas Wasaki and the 98 of Thomas Light running in the 18th position. 19th is Ricky the All-Star Harden in 20th. 17 of Alan Westman. Nothing going on for the race lead. However, there has been some changes right here. Justin Rivert was able to work his way by that 84 of Chris Medford, take away the 4th slot. Now he's going at Osmond off of turn number 4, back to the line with a head of steam. They're going to be even at the line, give the spot to the 48, down into turn 1, running that inside white line. Getting the car to turn as best as possible, clipping it just a little bit to swing the rear end around, make it turn, force it to turn, and there you see the 88 of Osmond. Big power move down to the inside going into turn 3. They will be even off of 4, but the 48 has the momentum on the outside. He is going to clear Osmond now with no problem as he heads back into turn number 1. And something major has happened with this battle. While watching that battle for 3rd and 4th, there has been a change for the race lead. The 67 of Chris Berg has been able to drive up and pass the 49 of Troy Radford. So new leader, new man on the point, the 67 of Chris Berg. And just to give you a little bit of perception on how many cars are out here on track, we're going to take you up here into the blimp cam aerial coverage for tonight's race, provided to you by David Elite Wrestling Club out of Bethel, North Carolina. Hats off to all the coaches out there: Brian Hill, David Bryson, Judd Bryson, Eric Wilson. We will be seeing you soon as this wrestling season is going to get ramped up. Thank you for all the help, all the shots up here from the blimp. And we are going to now head back down on track and watch this man, Chris Berg, continue to get the job done here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the St. Jude's 184. There you see on screen the top 20 as they're running with the intervals between them. And Chris Berg I didn't think anybody was going to be able to go up there and challenge that 49 of Radford. He seemed to be in a pretty comfortable position. But now he has not only caught him, but stepped it out to almost a 0.7 of a second lead. So he is absolutely flying out there, working his way around lap traffic. It looks like some green flag pit stops have begun. A few drivers electing to come down onto pit road and back out. Looks like Roger Muth was one of those drivers on and off pit road during green flag conditions here. 34 laps into this green flag run. Now make it 35. Troy Radford now a second behind the man on screen right there. The 67 of Chris Berg as he continues to put cars a lap down. And some of these cars, there you see them. That's the 88 of Kenneth Osmond. He was right there in third or fourth position before these green flag pit cycle stops. There you have it. Your race leader now coming to pit road. Troy Radford following him through. We're going to have to file through here. Let's go back here to Jeffrey Vandervoort as he's beginning to get himself down to the bottom of the track. He needs to get down there to pit here pretty soon, if I am not mistaken. Has not made his pit stops just yet. There you see, I believe that is the 37 of Cold Day going by. Also, John Jenkins coming to pit road. John may not have made, no, he has not. That is, John was your race leader. He hadn't made his pit stop just yet. Just behind him, the 9 of Travis Smith, the 17 of Alan Westman, all coming to pit road. This time by Chris Medford in the 84, though, may be smelling like roses looking around at the scoring charts here. He was on and off pit road about 6 laps ago. And I believe he is going to have quite a big lead over the field when this thing sorts itself on out. There you see him going to the top of the board. 7 laps on his tires. Chris Berg in the 67 being shown in second position as we run right now. Almost 5 seconds behind this man on screen, Chris Medford. And now Troy Radford able to come by, make the pass on Chris Berg, and he is going to set sail as Berg was not up to speed when Radford got by. Still trying to let green flag conditions sort themselves out. Troy Radford right here pretty much has his position in hand. Good little distance between him and the third place runner. Was leading the race before the green flag pit stops, the 67 of Chris Berg, and it looks like the 68 is hitting pit road this time by. 68 is Robert Camden Nuke, as we like to call him around here, going to pit road this time by. Vic Wagner having some tough luck right now in that 13 machine, being scored, showing as 1 lap down, but we'll still wait for this green flag pit stop cycle to work itself through before we can verify that one. Vic being shown all the way back in the 30th slot, so he's got a big task at hand if he's going to want to have any good finish here tonight. Go up inside of your top 10 now. Looks like these two are battling out on track. Roy Hyde, Ricky Harden. That was for the 12th position on track, as Chris Medford, I believe, is dropping through the field now. Very interesting to see what happened to Chris, as Troy Radford has taken over the race lead. very interesting night. Some very interesting things going on out there on track. Troy Radford now being scored as your race leader, does have a 1.2 second lead over the 67 of Chris Berg. And Justin Rivard in the 48 machine rounds out your top three here tonight. And inside of your top five for the first time here tonight is Roger Muth. He is running in the fourth position. Does have a good little gap back to his competition. That looks like Lance Yancey is battling it out with John Jenkins. They're trying to get that position sorted out. Just behind them is the 9 car of Travis Smith, about 2 seconds back from this little battle. That 76 car is 1 lap down right now as it sits. My goodness. Nope. Well, there's Chris Medford back to the race lead. Not quite sure. Maybe some connection issues or something. I am not sure. His timing and scoring is jumping all over the place right now for me. So we're going to let that thing sort itself out, calm itself on down here for just a second as we continue to watch this battle on track. And it looks like Troy Radford is beginning to catch up to that 84 of Chris Medford. And yes, he is. There you see him lurking just outside of the picture. And there are multiple cars being scored 1 lap down here tonight. We're going to have to still keep an eye on all this timing and scoring, as sometimes it can get a little bit wonky, a little bit crazy when we do have just so many cars, so many things going on here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the St. Jude's 184. And Troy Radford, he is a man on a mission. He is coming. We're going to see if we can't jump on board with our turn 3 on board camera, riding with the 49 of Troy Radford. There you see just up in front of him, that is the rear deck lid of that 84 of Chris Medford. First on the track, these two trying to sort it out after our first round of green flag pit stops. Gonna be some close, tight racing off of turn 2. Radford stays to the top. He's gonna take the position down into turn 3 underneath a lap car, and he is gonna take it back to the point yet again. Is that 49 of Troy Radford, and Chris Medford may be in a little bit of trouble, as Chris Berg is going to be right there in just a minute. Justin River also right there behind these drivers trying to catch back up. He lost a good amount of time on pit roads on the pit sequence. He finds himself about 4 seconds off of your race leader, the 49 of Troy Radford. Now that timing, scoring, and everything has resituated itself. Looking through the field, looks like the 7 of John Jenkins has found a way to come up into the 6th position. There you see the 39 of Roger Muth, the 9 of Travis Smith. Roy Hyde is just behind them, lurking about 3 seconds back though, as we watch Smith try to close that distance on Muth, try to take that position away. Just in front of them, there you've seen a handful of cars battling it out. That's Lance Yancey, John Jenkins. I believe Justin Rivard is involved in that battle right now on track as well. Not really seeing too many lap cars in the way as it stands right now. We'll have to keep on going through the rest of this race to see how much more this thing shakes itself out. But we are picking them up, laying them down, clicking them off right here. Just like Travis Smith clicked that position off, put it in the bag. Smith up to 7th, getting the pass done on Roger Muth. That was for the 7th position as they go around the damaged vehicle there of Brandon Hartwell. He is soldiering on, trying to get all the points that he can because it is a long race season for these drivers here in the RFC Next Gen K&N Series. And it is going to be a long race to the end. Working lap 60 this time by across the line. We will be halfway through tonight's race. And we have got at least 2 more green flag pit cycle scenarios underway. Chris Medford, he has hit pit road, I do believe. That is who we seen down there. The 84 of Chris Medford has elected to come back to pit road yet again, stopping a little bit earlier than the rest of the field. And he has got he is going to have to, I don't know if I like that strategy just yet. I'm not quite sure how it's going to shake out, how it's going to work itself out for him. But a big deficit for him to climb himself out of now. Man up front, the 49 of Troy Radford still leading this thing. Troy has 43, make that 44 laps in the bag here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So Troy able to get the lead and keep the lead for quite some time. And man, I tell you what, I do like to see some of them turn 3 paint schemes. They're looking mighty righteous out there on track here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the St. Jude's 184 race number 1 in the RFC Next Gen K&N Series here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Once again, I am David Worrell. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for all the likes, subscribes, thumbs up. If you haven't already, go on and click that thumbs up. Let these drivers know you appreciate all the hard racing action they are putting on out there on track. If you remember, 41 drivers took the green, and we have only had 1 caution out here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So a heck of a job, and there has not been very many race leaders either. Only 4 lead changes here tonight at it in the 65 laps that we have been able to log into the books. And man, I'm telling you, these drivers doing one heck of a job right now, keeping everything under I don't want to say under wraps, but kind of, if that makes any kind of logical sense. No timing and scoring probably being a little bit wacky for a lot of drivers out there, but we'll just keep soldiering through it, see how it all shakes out. At the end, I'm sure it'll all rework itself out. There you see, I believe that is the 37 of, I believe that is Cole Day in that 37 just in front of your race leader, Troy Radford. He is trying to stay on the lead lap here, and he is battling it out actually with excuse me. He is actually battling out with the 3 machine of Michael Massengill. That is, Michael is trying to stay only 1 lap down. I know it all says 2 laps. It's a little funky right now. I'm not sure why or how it's happening, but a lot of drivers being shown in a little bit different positions than what they really are. Your race leader, Troy Radford, though, still handling business, still getting the job done, has a just under 0.4 of a second lead over the 67 of Chris Berg. There you see Vic Wagner going up the track, giving the lane to the race leader, put Wagner down a lap, and he's going to set his eyes up there on the 71 of Jason Edmonston. He's going to try to go up there and put yet another car a lap down here, as it looks like a few drivers may be electing to hit pit road here shortly, as we are 26 laps into this green flag run. See drivers coming on and off pit road. A lot of different strategies being played here tonight already for the St. Jude's 184 here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Man, I tell you what, these drivers have not disappointed one bit. There is pit strategy all over the board out there right now. Drivers, it's hard to keep track of all the different strategies and scenarios that we have going on here right now. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. The difference in tires staggered all throughout the field right now. And Chris Berg has begun to catch up to your race leader, the 49 of Radford, now having to deal with the man you see right there just behind him, coming up, putting the pressure on with his poker face, riding in that global poker paint scheme is that 67 of Chris Berg, now looking to the inside of race leader Troy Radford. Down into turn 1, side by side they go through the center of 1 and 2, inside lane, getting the job done. Chris Berg to the point with a little bit of a slide job off of turn 2. They work their way now off of turn number 4. The 67 of Chris Berg comfortably in front of the 49 of Troy Radford. Have to go 3, almost 4 seconds back till you reach the third place runner. That is the 48 of Justin Rivard and the 77 of Lance Yancey, almost 2 seconds behind him in fourth. Fifth spot is the number 6 of Eric Blunt. Running in 7th here today for the St. Jude's 184 at Atlanta Motors Speedway. The 6th position goes to Craig Learman, 7th to Thomas Light, 8th to Dustin German, 9th to the 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. The 14 of Corey Walters is in 10th. Now make that 11th. Have some drivers jumping and glitching around here. It is hard to keep track, but it looks like Justin Rivert has hit pit road. I don't think these drivers can make it on fuel from here. So these drivers all gonna have to hit pit road at least one more time. Even these two driving on track, your race leaders, Chris Berg and Troy Radford, even if they stretch this thing out until they're almost out of gas, they are still gonna have to make one more stop, maybe if it's just for a splash, but they're gonna have to go ahead and do that. And maybe that's why some other drivers have elected to go ahead and pit. Maybe they just went down, and caution is out on the track. Craig Learman is in pit road right now, trying to look around the track, see what I see. Man, I do not know. As we had drivers on pit road pitting, we have some drivers slow here. Oh man, this is why sometimes you need to get by with a little help from your friends. Looking through the field right now, not really seeing anything that jumps out at me. Thomas Light, you're sponsoring your race sponsor. On pit road, slow off, no damage to his machine, so I'm not, I'm just not quite sure what has happened here with all of that, as we are under caution for the second time here today at Atlanta Motor Speedway, trying to see where everybody ends up shaking out here after these pit stops under caution. Looks like Troy Radford still being shown as your race leader, but Chris Berg already down and away. Race off of pit road's gonna be close. Ooh, that's gonna be real close. I believe they gave it to the 67 of Chris Berg as he won the race off of pit road here. And we're gonna take a moment, let everything sort itself out here while we are under caution. We're going to step away for just a brief moment. You won't miss any of the green flag action here today for the St. Jude's 184 on Turn 3 Racing Network. And we are back from commercial break. Green flag ready to fly once again here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Chris Berg in the 67 nails the gas, and we are back. Green flag racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, up on top of the spotter stand as we go through this latest restart here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And while we got a chance and we got them all here, let's go ahead and crank it up one good time for you. And caution has come out yet again here. And oh my, that is a lot of cars involved there. Justin Rivert, I believe, also involved. We'll take it back here, see what happened. Looks like there may have been a lot of cars involved in that one. The 08 gets into the 31, and there is nowhere to go for a lot of your drivers. Oh my goodness. We'll take one more look from a little bit different perspective here. Wow, a lot of drivers caught up and involved in that one. As there you see David Smith just up and into the side of him there. And that is going to spell disaster for a lot of those drivers. And I do apologize about some of the audio and video issues here tonight. And I'm going to have to readjust some things for the large field. And everything will work itself on out. Leaders hitting pit road. Chris Berg leading them down. The 49 of Troy Radford is in second. The 38 of Dustin German in third. Chris Medford in fourth. And I believe, unfortunately, there's going to be a few drivers that are not going to make it through that. I believe our very own Roger Muth was caught up in that incident. He is on pit road. We'll have to wait and see how bad his damaged vehicle is. We'll go back actually and take a look at Roger's car and see what happened here with him. Looks like he may be down and away and off of pit road. Not showing where he's at just yet, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Looks like he is stuck right there, beating the damage off of that machine. And ooh-wee. Tough sledding for my man right there, Muth in the booth. Check him out over here at Turn 3 Racing Network. I'm sure you already know about him. If you don't, I don't know, maybe you've been sleeping under a rock. Just saying. Race leader being shown as... Oh, I'm going to have to fix that too every time I see that. That really, really bothers me. Race leader being shown as the 77 of Lance Yancey. I believe he has stayed out on track to assume the race lead. Not pitting with the rest of the drivers. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be okay. I believe he may have actually came down and got just fuel, as these drivers are on the cusp of being able to make it all the way to the end here. We are under caution, so they're going to be able to save some fuel. And I wonder if maybe that's what the gamble is already. And we'll see if we can't try to get a word in really fast. If I can find them here. See if we can't get a word with the driver of that 77 machine who is being scored as your race leader. Let's see if we can't dial him up one good time. Lance in the 77 is Dave. You got me?
Yeah, what's up, bud?
Hey, man. Well, looks like some pit strategy there may have got you up into the front. What do you think's going to happen here?
Yeah, we run, 2 laps on there? I mean, new tire build. I looked at it as might as well give it a shot now early in the season. I had, kind of some bad luck to get me a little bit further back as far as I didn't get off pits. On the pits and off the pits good on the green flag. So make it up here under caution and see if I can hold these new tires behind me. All right, let's go for it.
All right, bud. Well, good luck. Elbows up. there you have it. That was the driver of the 77, Lance Yancey, being shown as your race leader. And we are getting set to go back green flag racing yet again here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the St. Jude's 184. 34 laps of green flag racing yet to be had. Your race leader waiting. He's in the restart zone. He hits the gas, gets a good jump over the 98 of Thomas Slight and Eric Blunt. Those three drivers going to be battling it out now. Travis Smith right there trying to make his presence felt late here in the race. Working lap 88 out of 120 scheduled for tonight. Remember, we could have a few extra laps here tonight should we end up in a green-white checkered situation. We will just have to wait and see how all that shakes out, how these drivers can manage fuel and tires here late in the race. It looks like a few drivers have had a worse night than what they were hoping for. And I believe we still have about 30 drivers still on the track out of the 41 that started today's race. As I said, timing and scoring being a little bit loopy on me right here, so some of my numbers may be a little bit off as of right now. We will just have to see what happens. And that kind of is what happens when you get so many out there. When something happens, you almost have nowhere to go, but Eric Blunt's got somewhere to go, and that is to the front. He is trying to get up there and make the pass on the 77 of Lance Yancey. Travis Smith has his hands full right now with the 98 of Thomas Light, and Troy Radford trying to work his way back up to the race lead. Roy Hyde has made his presence felt inside the top 10, running in the 8th position. John Jenkins in 7th. The 67 of Berg finds himself back in the 6th spot. He is trying to make his way through this field. He's following the 49 of Radford as they get around Thomas Light. Now Smith having to deal with Radford on his tail, but Blunt, he is working that outside lane. His rear spoiler is beat up just a little bit, but he is able to maintain enough speed out there running that high lane as Travis Smith trying to work the bottom lane off of 3 and 4. He's going to have the run to the line, give the position to Smith. Now he's going to try to go up there and chase down your race leader, the 77 of Lance Yancey. But as Smith opens the door, each time that 49 of Troy Radford in the fast 67 of Chris Berg, he follows suit as well. Put Radford to 3rd, Blunt back to 4th. Hands full with Berg now for 4th and 5th. They're going to have to settle that over the next lap as Travis Smith still stalking, still trying to get up there to that 77. And Blunt with a big moment way up the track in 1 and 2. He is now under fire from a gang of other drivers as they are hugging that inside white lane, and that is Roy Hyde and Dustin German that he is under fire for. And that is going to drop Eric back to the 6th, almost 7th position now, as we are still under green flag. 26 laps left to go here in Atlanta Motor Speedway. These drivers have done an absolute phenomenal job out there tonight. 3 cautions for only 11 laps, 6 lead changes here tonight. So if you've been able to get out there and out front, keep that clean air on the nose of your car, you have fared well in keeping that spot. But Troy Radford, he is driving away from Chris Berg and right up on the rear spoiler of that 9, looking inside. No, gonna fall in line going into turn 3 as they are working their way up to a lap car down there hitting pit road. That is the 3 machine of, I believe that is Michael Massengill. in the 3 machine hitting pit road that time by. Yes, it was. And Radford, man, he is all over Travis Smith right now. Your top 3 all within 0.2 of a second of each other. Lance Yancey on the point. Travis Smith running in second. There you see him on screen. Started all the way back in 28th and has managed to drive up through the field and into the second spot, but he is not satisfied there. He's going to want some more as he is trying to work that 9 machine up there to the bumper. And we have another caution out on track, and Roy Hyde is involved. We'll see what happened here with Roy. Oh! Just not enough room. Let's see what happened again. Let's look at this one more time. As the 28 of Dustin German was involved in this. Let's see what happened here. Looks like offset just a little bit. Oh, that's a tough one. Let's go up to our blimp cam here, see if we can't see anything differently. A tough one to see. And Roy Hyde goes around again. Oh, and again, multiple cars involved after the fact here. Take a look, see who we can see here on this. See if we see anybody else involved in it. Thomas Light able to get by. A lot of other cars got by. Few cars that did not, though. That is going to change the dynamics of this race here late at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We will jump up front, though, with your race leaders. Troy Radford on and off pit road. Lance Yancey on and off pit road. Travis Smith also. Those two maintain their positions. They will stay inside of your top 5 here tonight for the RFC Next Gen K&N Series St. Jude's 184 here on Turn 3 Racing Network. As always, I am David Worrell up here in the booth, just, talking like a bloomin' idiot. But anyways, there you see the Mopar Machine Wicked Energy ride of Travis Smith. He has had one heck of a run so far here tonight, and so has this gentleman right here. The 77 of Lance Yancey with a great job out there. And that 19 of Rick Reinert. Man, oh man, it has seen better days. I can guarantee you that. And I just don't know what to say. Looks like we do have a few cars out in front of your race leaders. So, a few cars going to receive the wave around. We'll take a real quick look back through the field here momentarily. Let's see how things shake out just for a moment. We will try to run through some of your standings for you just a little bit. Matter of fact, we'll go ahead and take care of that now. On point, the 77 of Lance Yancey, followed by the 9 of Travis Smith, the 49 of Troy Radford, the 67 of Chris Berg. Rounding out your top 5, the 28 of Dustin German. The 6th spot goes to the 7 of John Jenkins, the 98 of Thomas Light, the 2 of Ricky All-Star Harden in 8th. Eric Blunt in the 6th machine is in 9th. And rounding out your top 10 is the 45 of Douglas Wasaki. 11th spot goes to the 46 of Justin Walters, followed in 12th by the 43 of Craig Learman. 13th, the 84 of Chris Medford and Royd Hyde in the 14th position. 15th goes to the 14 of Corey Walters. Justin Rivard being shown now in 17th. 16th goes to the 39 of Roger Muth. Cole Day in the 37 back in 18th. Adam Novak 19th. In first car being scored one lap down, running in 20th, the 13 of Vic Wagner. So a lot of drivers, a lot of craziness, a lot of racing action here tonight, as we have gotten the one to go here. And man, oh man, it is going to be, it's going to be great. Things are about to heat up for sure. I can pretty much guarantee you that. Under 20 laps left to go here tonight for the St. Jude's 184. Pace car is off. Field is in the hands of your leader. As he hits the gas, we are back under green here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Lance Yancey, with a great start, gets a great jump over the 9 of Travis Smith, who now has the 49 of Troy Radford knocking on the door on the inside lane. He is going to try to take that second spot away. Digging on the bottom all by himself now is that 49 of Radford, as Dustin German in the 28 machine is up there running in third. Looking for third now on the inside of Travis Smith. He's going to, caution is out yet again here. Let's see what has happened back here through the field. Not really seeing anything going on here, so not quite sure what may have happened there. Looks like everybody is running, not seeing any incidents or anything like that out there. Very interesting to see that. Yeah, not quite sure what that was all about. So we will be back under caution yet again here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And gentlemen, I have found a secret. Just saying. For everybody at Turn 3, want to say thank you once again for all the help that you've given me and brought me up and along the way with all of you guys. Roger Muth having a decent day until he was involved in some on-track incidents. He finds himself just inside of the top 15, running into 13th position as of right now. There you see, I believe that was the 13 machine of Vic Wagner. He's going to get himself back onto the lead lap here late in the race. 16 laps left to go here tonight for the RFC Next Gen K&N Series here on Turn 3 Racing Network. This is race number 1 out of 20 races for this K&N Series. So if you want to be the champion, you're going to have to put the work in. It is a long, grueling season, especially long in observance with the mini holidays in the upcoming weeks. But that doesn't mean a thing. Catch us here every Sunday night, except for on holidays, for your racing fix, your throwback fix, if you will, the K&N cars here on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. And we are going to have, I believe, 13 laps to go when we get the green flag here on this latest restart. 15 to go this time as the drivers work their way down and onto the back stretch. Few drivers do have fresher tires Got to go all the way back to the 13th spot to find the freshest tires on track, and that is the 37 machine of Cole Day. He now finds himself up in the 12th position, actually, as a driver hits pit road just off of your racing screen. And I tell you what, something we haven't done a whole lot of is talk about the longevity, the what ifs. You can blow your tires here on iRacing now with this new tire model that has been instituted on these K&N cars. If you just absolutely beat the Jesus out of them, and could we see some possible issues here tonight? Is that why maybe some of these cars are having some troubles blowing some of them right front tires? And can you abuse it for 13 straight laps? Can you go out there and try to lay down qualifying times lap after lap for 13 laps in a row? Because that's what you're going to have to do when we go back green flag racing. We will have 13 laps left to go out of the 120 that we were scheduled here in the regular distance of this race. And whew, pace car lights are off. We are getting ready to go back green flag racing. Who wants it? Who's going to get it? Who's going to be the first in the books for the K&N Series? We're going to have to wait and find out. Lance Yancey hits the gas in the restart line, gets a great jump on the field. Troy Radford not with the speed on the start. He's going to have to battle with the 9 of Travis Smith. As you see the damaged, hurt car of Roy Hyde down there on that apron, coming off of pit road, being scored back through the field. One lap down now is Travis Smith looking to the inside. He's got John Jenkins right on his tail, pushing him. My goodness, it's a gaggle of cars up here at the front. Your top 5 all over each other with only 12 laps left of racing to go. John Jenkins has made an appearance up in the front, pushing on that 9 of Travis Smith down there on the inside lane. Travis needing a little bit of extra help to get by the 49 of Troy Radford, who is running that high lane. But the man up front, Lance Yancey, enjoying what he sees. The more these drivers battle, the better off they will be. Travis Smith doing a little bit of Magic Man action there. Now you see him, now you don't. It doesn't matter. This late in the race, he's probably just going to stay in it. I mean, that's what I would do. Troy Radford now, Dustin German able to get by Travis Smith as Lance Yancey started to build a gap. Troy Radford now closing that distance back in. 10 laps left to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for race number 1 here in the RFC Next Gen K&N Series on Turn 3 Racing Network. Great racing action all through the field here on this latest restart. Cole Day back there in 12th, trying to get the job done, trying to take the position away from the 14 of Corey Walters. Craig Learman right there. Thomas Light, he's trying to get by John Jenkins now. Travis Smith has fell by the wayside just a little bit. Back to the 4th position. Can Lance Yancey hold on for 8 more laps here at Atlanta? We're going to hope to find, well, we're going to find out for sure. He's hoping that he's able to. Troy Radford hoping he can get to that rear bumper. Just not sure if he's going to have enough time. Getting to him and passing him are two different things here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. As your third place runner, Dustin German, is kind of log jammed back here in front of this pack. And Chris Berg, fast through the center portion of the race, finds himself stuck in the 5th spot right now. Thomas Light battling it out with John Jenkins. That is for 6th and 7th. Chris Medford just behind them. Eric Blunt in the 6th. In the 9th spot, as we have now down to 6 laps to go. Whole entire field all over each other, racing for position. Even all the way back here near the rear of the field, Bobby Summers in the 23 machine and Damon Cox in the 57. They're still battling it out for position as well. 5 laps left to go here today for this man right here, and he is enjoying what he is seeing, and that is Troy Radford staying right around that 2. Oh, big wreck behind, and I believe Chris Medford is involved. There is a load of cars down here involved in this one. Take a look back here on our turn 3 replay and see what happens. And into the rear of the 7, it looks like that's what happened. We'll take one more look at it here, get a little different vantage point. We'll have to take one more look back on this. And it looks like Jenkins just checking up, and Chris Medford right into the side of him. And that is all she wrote. Eric Blunt involved. Oh, the 44 of Adam Novak involved. I believe that is all the cars that ended up involved in that, but hate to see that. And I know the man up front, he really hates to see it. Lance Yancey, my goodness, exactly what he was not ready for, exactly what he did not want to see. And that was a caution come out. 4 laps to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and I do believe we will have ourselves a green-white checkered finish here. We'll wait just a second, let it get kind of sorted out for a moment. Looks like the All-Star Ricky Harden has hit pit road. Justin Walters, Justin Rivard, Chris Medford, John Jenkins, all onto pit road this time. Eric Blunt also on pit road. Justin Rivard, as I already said, Justin was on pit road. Just making sure you know he's on pit road. You know, just want to be sure. In case you didn't know. Trying to keep the tires clean here is Lance Yancey. We will have a green-white checkered here. Let's see if we can't take another moment here to get a hold of your race leader. Hey, Lance, it's Dave in the booth again. You got a copy?
What's happening, Dave?
What's happening, my man? Green, white, checkered here. Do you think you got what it takes to put your name in the books as a race 1 winner here for the RFC Next Gen K&N Series?
I'm gonna do my best. They're gonna have to move me to get around me. I can tell you that, Dave. That was a good call. I taking just fuel on that pit. Got good track position here. Troy's gonna have to move me. He's a little better, but he's gonna have to move me. You know what it means.
All right, my man. Well, elbows up. I wish you luck and hope you come out on the other end alive.
Appreciate it. 7017's been good today.
All right, before we let you go, Lance, here, you want to give any shout-outs to anybody out there watching?
Brian Peterson, Emily, if she's even watching, just anybody here rooting for me. I appreciate it. This is a lot of fun. Growing sport. I enjoy it.
All right, well, that was your race leader, the 77 of Lance Yancey, and we'll see if we can't steal a word with another driver here as we get ready to go back green flag racing. Let's see if we can't steal a word with that 49 of Troy Radford. You got me, bud?
I do, man. How you doing today?
Oh, man, I'm doing good. A little bit of more cars than I actually expected. 41's a big number.
Heck yeah, it is. So I like it. We've had a heck of a race here. We had a lot of green flag run. Of course, a little bit of rash of cautions here at the end, but yeah, it's been a great race overall.
Well, man, we are one to go, so I'll keep it short and sweet. You think you got what it takes to get by that 77 and put your names in the book. Put your name in the book as the first winner here in the RFC Next Gen K&N Series.
I sure would like to think so, man, but with the way these restarts pull out, I mean, I'm going to be lucky to, end up in second or third, just the way this outside line's been going. So, I'm going to do everything I can for it, but I think, short of something stupid happening, I think this one might be Lance's.
All right, bud. Well, if you got quick shout-outs, go ahead and throw them out before you go back green.
You know what, I'll actually save that one for later. I've already done a couple of shout-outs here, but, thank you for doing what you do, Dave.
All right, that was the man in second place, electing to focus on the task at hand. And this is going to be an absolute great one here. We're going to get set to go. Green flag racing. Green, white, checkered, and Lance Yancey hits the gas, and he gets underway. Very good start by Lancey. By Lancey Poo. If y'all don't know, me and Lance go way back like 4 flats, so I'm allowed to call him that. It's the 77 trying to get the job done here under green, white, checkered conditions. He gets back to the line. The next flag will end the race. Caution or white flag. And we have white flag in the air here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Lance Yancey leading the field off of turn 2. That 28 machine, and Radford up into the wall off of 2. Battle is going to be for these two right here. Can Yancey get the job done off of 4? The 28 of German is right there on his bumper at the line. Lance Yancey walks away with the race win here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the RFC Next Gen K&N Series. St. Jude's 184, and he goes down in the history books as the first race winner here for the RFC Next Gen K&N Series. That is something nobody can ever say that they have done besides him. He is the first. He is the true OG. Lance Yancey gonna burn it down here in his 77 machine as he enjoys and celebrates his race win. We will step away from the track for just a moment. Gonna let you see some of the celebrations here that the 77 of Lance Yancey is enjoying right now. Then we are going to step away momentarily, and we will be right back, because coming up next, we have your driver post-race interviews here on Turn 3 Racing Network. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We will be right back. And back here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for your post-race interviews. And it looks like we have been able to catch up with our top 3 race finishers. Gonna see if we can't get a few words out of your third place finisher here today, the 67 of Chris Berg. You got me?
Yep, I got you.
Hey, but, well, first off, congratulations. Great run out there. Third place ain't nothing to, hang your head about. Led a lot of laps, I believe at least 18 out there today, so had a fast ride. Tell us a little bit about your race.
Well, I definitely did not have a short run. The tires, I couldn't figure them out, so I needed about 15 laps, and that's when I was able to run everyone down. I was able to run Troy down from about 2 seconds back, I think twice. One time was after the pit stop. I actually came out with like a 2-second lead, and car just got close enough to the wall. I don't believe I touched, but then it just sucked me in, so it gave him like a 1.5 advantage, and just needed the long run. Those cautions at the end with people wrecking, it really screwed me up right there.
Yeah, man, I for one, I noticed what you alluded to there, having the setup benefiting the long run style that you were utilizing there. I could see that through a few other runs. Were you surprised at any point in time with the new tire model, a track like Atlanta, here in the K&N cars, were you surprised at all about the green flag pit stops becoming a factor?
Not really. I figured with this many cars, there was going to be quite a few yellows to start out, and was hoping that it was going to go green to the end. I mean, I didn't really know what I had from practice or even qualifying. I surprised myself qualifying fourth. I did not see that happen. And then once we got going, it took about 10 laps, and then I started picking them off, and I was like, okay, car felt really good, letting it roll in 1 and 2. Just right as it got to the bottom, kind of hit the throttle and then let off real fast, and it would turn just really good, and that's where I was making up a lot of my time. And I mean, the tires, I thought the tire model was great. I mean, there was quite a bit of fall off. You saw Mefford, he pitted early the first time trying to undercut me and Troy, and had like 8-second lead. Me and Troy ran him down, and then he tried undercutting again, and then that's when the next caution came out and caught a whole bunch of people a lap down, and they took the wave around. It was a good, fun race, though. Definitely wish it would have stayed green the whole time, though.
Good fun race for sure, especially for me up here in the booth. A lot of great racing action all night long. Great to see you cutting through some of the lap traffic when you did get the lead. So, as I said already, nothing to hang your head about. Did walk away with only third, but you led a handful of laps up there leading the thing and running with the big boys, so to speak. So hats off to you once again, my man, for the great finish here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Before we let you go, though, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, I do's, anything like that?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout-out to my team, Blackhawk Motorsports. I mean, I think 3 of us started in the top 7, and then just some bad luck with a few of them, and they were all fast as well, and got some great teammates.
All right, Chris. Well, once again, congratulations. Great run, and we will catch up with you next week in Iowa.
Yep, thank you. I'll be there.
There you have it. That was your third place finisher here today for the St. Jude's 184. Now let's see if we can't get a word in with our second place finisher, and that was the 28 of Dustin German. Dustin, you got a copy?
Hey, yes, sir. How you doing, man?
I am doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing good after that race. It was pretty long and kind of threw us a curveball there early, but we rallied back for a second place finish.
Well, man, if you don't mind, just walk us through a little bit of your race, a little bit maybe of the pit strategy that you and your crew chief were employing here tonight at Atlanta.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure on how far I could go. I didn't really run a lot of practice laps, so I was just on a strategy of running out my tank and hoping that a caution would fall in the latter stages of a run there and kind of, help us work our way back up to the front.
Well, that you did, my man. Slotted home here in second at the end of the race. Does that give you anything to look forward to heading off into Iowa next week?
Yeah, we just got a little work to do. Try to be fast on the short run. Seemed like our car only performed in the long run there on the older tires, and just try to execute on pit strategy a little bit better. Maybe get into the room a little bit earlier and figure it out. But all in all, man, a good race. A lot of competition in this room. A lot of fast guys, man. It's an honor to finish second here. I mean, we battled hard as we could there and fought for everything we could get.
All right, man. Well, once again, hats off. Congratulations for your second place finisher. Before we let you go here tonight, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, I do's, anything like that?
Yeah, man, I just want to give a shout out to you guys at Turn 3 Racing Network for putting this on, and we'll give a shout out to you, man. I know you took some time out of your night tonight and come out here and broadcast this thing, and shout out to RFC and Next Gen Racing. This merger they've done is, I think it's something to build on for the future when it comes to both these leagues, and I think it's going to really shape up to be a really good series, and I'm looking forward to what's to come, man. You never know. I mean, the way these guys are racing here tonight, we've had a lot of green flag running and a lot of close action, so I was pleased with how the race turned out, and I drove my butt off, and all it was good for was second place. So congrats to the leader also and third place, and everybody else that showed up, everybody that watched. It was a fun race. Thank you, man.
All right, Chris. Well, once again, a heck of a job to come home in second, and we will catch up with you next week at Iowa.
Thanks, bud.
There you have it. You said it himself, raced his guts out and was only able to walk away with a second place finish. And I tell you what, the man of the moment, the man of the hour, this man right here, Lancey Poo. Oh, Lance Yancey walking away with the race win. How's it feel, bud?
Dave, I'm here, baby. I'm in victory lane. Like, finally, good car after good car, we're finally able to put this 77 in victory lane after a long year of not getting in victory lane. Actually, the whole year. First race of this one, and we're here.
Well, I mean, I know it's only the beginning of the season, only race number one, long race season here in the RFC Next Gen K&N series, and I mean, does it give you any spark, any hope that maybe you can string together a few race wins and look forward to a championship, or is it just too long of a ways out to start looking that far ahead?
Yeah, I'm not looking that far ahead. I mean, you look at the top 10, you got, Craig Liggerman, Thomas Light, Troy Radford, and that's not even, you got Justin Reverd. This is one heck of a field that showed out tonight, and they put on a show. We originally, thought, this was going to be close, a lot of cautions, only 2 or 3. Great racing. I mean, I have no complaints at all. Went into this expecting it to be good because we had a lot of good names, and then it actually turned out better than I thought it would, especially since I'm in victory lane.
Well, man, you mentioned not winning for almost an entire year. Now you have won the first race in the season. I know you've been recently married, Lance, so I know celebrating is something you like to do. I've got personal knowledge of that myself, my man. So before we let you go off and handle all your celebration and fun, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, I do's, anything like that to anybody out there? Well, scratch that I do part out. You already got that under control.
Yeah, I got that under control. Of course, she's watching. Her dad's watching. Steven, a couple of my managers from Sam's Express Car Wash, Devin, Nick, Jesse, if he's watching. It's it's a lot of fun. This is something that's growing, and we're trying to get more people interested. All I can say is just from what I did to get the win, pit strategy, I think this league is going to show a lot of that. You know, I pitted from ninth, came out first because I didn't take tires, and it came away with the win. So this is something to keep an eye on throughout the year with this new tire build. A lot of fun, a lot of clean racing, and it's good to be in victory lane. Good to be on the other end of this microphone.
All right, Lance. Well, a heck of a job once again, man. Congratulations, and we will catch up with you at Iowa.
Yep. Y'all have a good night. Race hell, praise Dale, and inhale, boys.
There you have it. Your race winner, the 77 of Lance Yancey. Happy as can be. Walking away with a race win here tonight, and there's not much left to be done here from Atlanta Motor Speedway except bring you your race results. And here we go. Your race winner, race number 1 for the St. Jude's 184, the 77 of Lance Yancey. Dustin German slotted home in second. Third went to Chris Berg. Fourth, the 43 of Craig Lerman. Fifth spot went to the 98 of Thomas Light, while Troy Radford scrubbed that outside wall on the green-white checkered restart. He fell back to finish in the 6th spot. 7th goes to the 14 of Corey Walters, while Vic Wagner in the 13 machine slotted in 8th. 9th position, the 9 of Travis Smith, followed by the 46 of Justin Walters. Want to take a minute to recognize those two individuals over there at 946 Designs. And I tell you what, as far as marketing is concerned, you couldn't have a better finish there. 9th and 10th to bring it home, just like your company's name, 946 Designs. Just saying, heck of a job there, you two, rounding out the top 10. 11th spot goes to the 37 of Cole Day. The 45 of Douglas Wasaki was in 12th. 13th spot goes to the 44 of Adam Novak, while Donald Bennett found himself in 14th. 15th position is the 48 of Justin Rivert, while the 2 of Ricky the All-Star Harden slotted home in 16th. 17th position goes to the 39 of Roger Muth, while the 84 of Chris Medford is in 18th. 19th goes to the 00 of Roy Hyde. 20th position, the 71 of Jason Edmonston. In 21st, the 23 of Bobby Summers. Damon Cox in the 57 machine slotted home in 22nd, while 23rd went to the 17 of Alan Westman. Coming home in 24th, the 88 of Kenneth Dale Osborne. And the 82 of Tyler Hilton was 25th. 26th spot, the 76 of Chuck Mobley. And in 27th, the 7 of John Jenkins. Eric Blunt in the 6 machine slots home in 28th. 29th to the 68 of Robert Camden. 30th position to the 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. 31st to Travis Arthur. 32nd goes to Kendall Levron in the 8 machine, while the 3 of Michael Massengill found himself in 33rd. The 34th goes to the 08 of David Smith Jr., while Andreas Lambert found himself bringing his 72 machine home in 35th. 36 goes to the 113 of Casey Flegel. The 19 of Rick Reinert in 37th. 38 the 22 of Cody Terry. 39th the 5 of Brandon Hartwell. 40th position goes to the 21 of Jeffrey Vandervoort. 41st to Dylan Blankenship. The 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. Early trouble here tonight. Finishes at the tail end of the field. So, great racing action. Not very many cautions. We'll throw it up one last time. 6 cautions here. Only 24 laps here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, which is a testament to itself. A lot of great action out there tonight on track. Want to give a shout out to everybody out there in all the lobbies watching, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook Live. Thanks to all of you for watching, tuning in. Join us once again next Sunday night as we head off to Iowa. And that is going to be one heck of a race. 1 mile track. 40 plus drivers here in the RFC Next Gen Racing Series. Next Gen Racing K&N Series. Sorry, mine went for a second. You know how that can happen. Been up here talking to myself like a fool for over 2 hours. So you got to be a little crazy to be in my position. Want to send a thank you to all the drivers. Great racing action all night long. Do appreciate all of the great battles out there. Hats off to all of the admins over there, Next Gen Racing, as well as all the admins from Racing for a Cause, putting their heads together, coming together, creating this just great dynamic little hybrid series here for both of these leagues. In the K&N car, it is going to be one heck of a race all season long, race after race, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Send a shout out and thank you to Thomas Light and the St. Jude's Children Research Hospital for sponsoring tonight's race here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And once again, I am David Worrell up here in the booth. Thank you. Hope to see you again next week. And that's it for all of us. We're going to go ahead and start rolling up these cords and pay a few bills. We'll see you next Sunday here on Turn 3 Racing Network.